Actually, I was on the board of trustees for the Absecon Lighthouse for about, 2 or 3 years. And at the time I was affiliated with the ShopRite LPGA Classic, but I was a volunteer here. And when the position became open, the board, just from knowing each other, knew that I had marketing background. And I guess we thought it was time to take the marketing to the next level. So I was offered the position and I accepted.
Okay. Were you a Lighthouse fan before you got involved?
Well, I've been raised on Jersey Shore my whole life, and definitely what's so funny is I worked at Showboat for 14 years, and the employee parking lot is a few blocks away. And walking to work every day, I would always look left and check out the Absecon Lighthouse. And since I was in human resources, periodically we would be working, training and different employee projects and activities, and so I got to see the moon rise over the ocean and the sunrise over the lighthouse, and yeah, you could say I'm a lighthouse lover. I appreciate that.
Well, it's what, 150 feet tall?
Yeah, 171 feet tall.
So, but what kind of challenges come with operating a family attraction in a casino town?
That's a great question, because I just got finished writing a grant for the New Jersey Historic Commission, which is one of our funders, and they're really a wonderful organization, and we are asked to identify challenges within our own marketplace for running an historic site. And I write things like, well, it's really hard to compete with Beyonce, Madonna, Top Chef restaurants, all these different entertainment and food options, gorgeous hotels. Our biggest obstacle naturally is, as I mentioned, we're 2 blocks from the boardwalk, so we're not on the main thoroughfare of Atlantic City. So, and we were 4 blocks north of Showboat. Now we're about 1 or 2 blocks north of the last casino. So it's a matter of getting people to walk a little farther and to learn about Absecon Lighthouse. So that's a definite challenge. It's fun being in this city because of all those reasons, and then we have to make sure that the people who do visit learn about us and find us.
Now, there are lighthouses, Barnegat lighthouses, Cape May lighthouses all over the New Jersey shore. Being in Atlantic City, is that a help or a hindrance to your operation, do you think?
Oh my God, I would say it's a huge help. We're actually not as visited as the state parks of Cape May and Barnegat, because within those jurisdictions, that is almost the main attraction. So you're going to visit the Cape May Lighthouse and the Barnegat Lighthouse. However, this is a very exciting city, and there are wonderful partnership opportunities with other entities in town that we take advantage of. So I think it's really fun to be in an environment that is, very entertainment and tourism driven. And when people come here, they are looking for a good time. And Stockton recently did a study about what people are looking for during their leisure time, and cultural museums and sites are up there as far as what families would like to do and how they would like to spend their leisure time. So I feel really fortunate that we do have this beautiful historic site museum right within this fun casino entertainment town. So,
do most of your visitors, do they come here to visit the lighthouse, or do they come here and then discover the lighthouse?
Another great question. You know what? Our website and the internet has been a blessing as well, because people Google what can I do while I'm in Atlantic City, and being that our name begins with an A, and we have really good Google presence. We have all the correct meta words on there. We work with our webmaster Renee Pettit very closely, so that we pop up first for a lot of Google searches that people make. So they do find us via the internet.
Now, you talked about how there are partnership opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me an idea of some of the things that you've taken advantage of with either other nonprofits in the town or the casinos?
Absolutely. Well, we are partners with Steel Pier, Lucy the Elephant, the Atlantic City Aquarium, Noyes Museum, Edwin B. Forsyth Wildlife Refuge, Hereford Lighthouse, Cape May Lighthouse. And basically what happens is when people climb our lighthouse, they get a card that says, I climbed to the, New Jersey's tallest lighthouse. So with that card, they can go to these other places and get a discount off of the admission at those places. So,
how important is it to have those kind of partnerships, marketing wise? Do you have much of a marketing budget?
That's funny. No, we do not have a large marketing budget at all. It's only $10,000 annually. That pays for rack cards and to be in the official tourism guide for Atlantic City, and some ad hoc ads that we place periodically to be in South Jersey Vacationer. I would have to say that with that very small budget, naturally we have an extremely targeted marketing program, but that's one of the reasons that I have that quote over my computer. And as a press person, you're not going to like this, but it says advertising is, what is it? Advertising is the tax you pay for being unremarkable. So what I try to do from the very beginning is just go with events and go with experiences at Absecon Lighthouse that are maybe a little different than what's out there in the other museum marketplace, so that people hear about it and that local press people pick up on what we're doing here. And I get the benefit sometimes of, having a little event listed in the paper that draws attention to the lighthouse. So,
now, do you think that's the case with other nonprofit organizations? Do you think they find themselves in the same spot?
Oh, I do. After, especially in the tourism region, Hurricane Irene, 2011, and then Hurricane Sandy really cut into our revenues. And so I think everybody understands that, we have to try so hard just to stand out in the marketplace and to also let tourists and visitors, and for me, mainly, I would like to reach more of the local market, because I can't tell you the number of times that people come here and say, oh, I grew up in the inlet. Oh, we climbed the lighthouse when I was a kid. And then I always say, did you make out with your girlfriend at the top? It's just fun. People have memories and experiences of Absecon Lighthouse. And so if I could capture people who want to relive those memories and just tell them, come over here and visit, because everyone comes with a memory, especially the local people.
Now, there's been a marked increase in recent years by the Atlantic City Alliance to market the city and to change its image. Are you guys benefiting from that at all?
Absolutely, without a doubt. Speaking of partnerships, I count ourselves extremely lucky to be in partnerships with Atlantic City Alliance, the CRDA, and the Atlantic City Convention and Visitors Authority. These three entities, in my mind, are so crucial for marketing and benefiting Absecon Lighthouse. There's a new commercial that's coming out, a new ad campaign by the Atlantic City Alliance, and I think the debut is on April 15th. And there's an image of Absecon Lighthouse, and there's a beautiful couple standing at the top, right next to the First Order Fresnel lens. So for that reason, we're lucky. The ACCVA provides many marketing services for us, pushing through a lot of our press releases, doing some design work for us for our different invitations and events. And the CRDA is a wonderful source for us. They assisted in helping repair our porch last year, which was really dilapidated and huge liability for us. And I consider these three entities just superb and very crucial for our existence. Absolutely. I mean, this is it's just such a wonderful story, because Rebel Entertainment, our new neighbor, had their community gaming nights last year in March. And they dedicated funds that were made during those, I think it was 2 or 3 evenings, to, I think they picked about 4 nonprofits in the first and second wards of Atlantic City. And we were fortunate enough to be a recipient of a portion of their funding from those charity evenings. And that made the difference between us having an incredibly tough winter and us being able at least to pay most of our staff and our bills through the winter. We're now coming out of an extremely hard winter. And were it not for Rebel and other casinos who are always willing to donate something towards our events and support us that way, and the restaurants in those casinos also provide items for the auction table. So, it's a nice town to work in, but everybody, I think, has been feeling the struggle a little, but they're still really strong community partners.
Let's do it now. What would it be?
Wow, one thing. Well, I would say that collectively, as each of these agencies looks to increase tourism for Atlantic City, and with the governor's 5-year plan, I would say that is a really strong plan and strategic approach that would benefit all of the museums in Atlantic City. There wouldn't be just one thing to do. One thing is that let everyone know we have a fun place to visit, and within that fun place to visit are museums and historic sites and things like that. But I say get the people here, and then we can make it happen.
Now, you worked in casino marketing and you were tournament coordinator for the LPGA before coming to the Lighthouse in 2005. Now, since you've been here, you were saying, you've been concentrating on programming and marketing to sort of bring people here. Can you give me an idea of a program or a marketing campaign that you did that really surprised you, that was really successful for you?
Wow. It's almost like, again, collectively, little bits that all add up to an increase. I would say that the thing that I was most happy about is increasing visitation by 120%, and doing that with really taking the arm and reaching into a lot of different corners for new business, couponing with a lot of different agencies, New Jersey Transit, AAA, Click It and Save, mobile coupons, other organizations, just taking the arm and reaching as far out there as possible, to spread the good word about Absecon Lighthouse. I think there was one year where I attended 166 different events just to talk about Absecon Lighthouse. I'll go and speak at any luncheon. And I think just being out there in the community and just letting people know that we're here has helped tremendously. It's just a lot of fun to try and reach new people, because once you do tell them about the Lighthouse, if they haven't heard about it before, and then when they cross the threshold and actually come in the front door, they always say wow, I had no idea, this is beautiful here. So that's always fun. Again, our top was 2010 with 29,000. And to compare that, Cape May gets around 75,000 to 100,000 a year. Their location is right on the beach. I know if we were right up on that boardwalk, that we would also get that and probably many thousands more visitors. But the location, the old real estate axiom, location, 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 is our largest obstacle.
Now, the HBO series?
When we were on Ghost Hunters, people would come in and say, I saw you on Ghost Hunters, so that was a clear benefit. Boardwalk Empire, I think, has just been generally good for Atlantic City. One way was just last week, we had a couple from Britain who had researched coming to Atlantic City because they were fans of Boardwalk Empire. And sure enough, they Googled getting married in Atlantic City and found out about Absecon Lighthouse. So Boardwalk Empire, reached across the Atlantic Ocean and brought people to Atlantic City for that reason. We actually did a murder mystery performance centered around Boardwalk Empire last year. It was called the Lighthouse Rum Runners, thinking that long ago these guys that were at the top of the lighthouse may have cut the beam or flashed it or done something to let the boats out in the ocean know it was okay to bring in the liquor at that time. So the Rum Runners.
Now, you'd mentioned the wedding with the couple from England. You're a licensed minister, aren't you?
Yes, yep, licensed minister.
Come about?
Well, what happened is it was 2007. Beginning of the year, I got a call at the Lighthouse, and we had always offered the Lighthouse as a host site for weddings. And it was the third time, they always say third time's a charm, somebody asked me in course of the conversation about booking a wedding, and do you know anybody who can marry us? And I hung up the phone and I said to myself, I have to figure out a way to say yes to that question. And so I decided that I would be the person to say yes to that question. So I just figured out, I went online, as many people do. It's all official. It's through an organization, Rose Ministries, and they were kind of thinking that women traditionally have not ministered to people, and I thought that was a good fit for me. So I went ahead and got my minister license with them. I think they're having a really good experience in Atlantic City. They're having fun, and they they remark on their hotels, or I was a little confused about this, or where do I park? They're pretty much general questions. But they just do remark a lot. So many people come from out of the state and out of the country. I love hosting the foreign visitors as our volunteers do, because, you know, we have volunteers that work at the lighthouse and we absolutely couldn't do it without them. One of the shifts is at the top of the lighthouse, and, you know, they just come down and report, especially for our foreign travelers. They love the city, they love the views, they love the ocean. Some people have never seen the Atlantic Ocean before. And some people ask where the boardwalk is because I guess of the tall buildings and the city streets as you come in. So we're able to direct them up on the boardwalk into the ocean. It's just a